Look at this.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Concert Junkies, Rob and John.
And we're live.
And awake.
Okay.
What is up?
What's going on?
What was that?
What was that?
I had to mute my computer. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh,
It's okay. The randomness. We love it. It's okay. How's it going, guys?
Good. How are you?
I am good. As you guys know, I'm Fran LaSavage, Savage Ladies of Metal, co-host on Wednesday nights with the one and only Rob from Concert Junkies.
What's going on, guys?
What's up?
Would you guys
Nice
like
to meet you.
introduce yourself
Nice
and
meeting you,
everyone, who you are, what you play, where you're from?
Yeah, sure. I'm Ryan Sorensen, lead singer, rhythm guitar player for Backlash.
I'm Sean Johnson, the drummer of Backlash.
Yeah, we're very excited to be here. We appreciate the short notice letting us in, so thank you.
Yeah, it just worked
No
out.
problem.
I reached out to you guys like 2 weeks ago, and it's like, actually, we do have an opening, like, stat, because the band had to reschedule, so it worked out.
Yeah, we got lucky.
Yeah. So who are we missing?
Oh, we're missing Tyler Smith, our bass player, and Vaughn Reed, our lead guitar player, and backup vocals. They're both a little busy right now, so maybe they'll pop in later on, maybe not.
Well, if they do, we'll be more than happy to pop them on, or if they want to send any comments, they're more than welcome to. Just like any fans, if they have any questions they want to ask, we'll be more than happy to ask them for you.
Right on. Appreciate it.
Awesome. All right, so Backlash, you guys are from Joliet, Illinois. You're one of my
Yes.
next door neighbors.
Yes. Joliet area. Yeah, all over.
A metal hello to all. Love Backlash. Laura,
It's
girl, I
Laura.
see you everywhere. I'm just saying what's up to you.
Yeah.
Laura's cool, man. She's cool.
Yeah, she's all over the place. She's very cool people. I love it. So you guys, tell me about the name Backlash. What's the story behind that?
Ooh, go ahead, Sean.
Me? I'm a new guy in the band, like pretty much. Ryan pretty much started that band, so I think you should answer that one.
Yeah, I'm just giving you hell. Yeah, so basically, like 21, 22 years old, you're in your first bands. They break apart, fall apart after you play gigs and all that. So got tired of playing covers, started writing original material, put together a new project. And I can't remember precisely where I read Backlash, but I thought, man, that's a really good name. It's catchy, it's poppy, it's good. Something people will remember. So back in like 2014, I chose that name.
So what does it mean to you?
Basically, we're coming for you. We're ready to take over the universe, or try to anyway.
Hey, that's a good goal to have. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Yeah.
The sky is not the limit. That's for sure. So you guys, what kind of who are your influences? What kind of genre are you guys specific? I know you guys are kind of like everywhere, but what genre would you consider you most similar to?
Primarily thrash metal.
Mm.
Personal influences differ a bit between all of us in the band, but that's kind of the thing that holds us together alike is thrash metal, 80s thrash metal in particular. But Sean has been playing
The
for
band,
decades.
Since the 80s, yeah. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Sean's played death. I mean, Sean, you play death metal, plays thrash, plays everything. He's a killer drummer, and yeah, you can go ahead and go tell him what you're into.
Well, yeah, I mean, 80s thrash was, of course, the big influence, but I was around during the whole death metal bloom, so that was my thing, all the way up through high school and that. So that's pretty much it, Then I find these youngsters, I consider youngsters, doing old school thrash, so like it was fun,
And I love that the thrash is starting to come back as a very big influence with the younger generation. That's awesome because the Godfathers of metal, man, they are what set the tone for everything for the music that follows afterward. And there's so many bands trying to hit that, and it's like,
Right.
man, you got to put more than your heart and your soul into it. It's like, dude, you got to sign that contract over, at this point.
Yeah, I
You know?
mean, you got your war horses like Exodus and Testament stuff that's still just killing it. So, I mean, if it wasn't for them, bands like that, I think thrash would have died a long time ago. But it because you got to remember, the grunge era pretty much was killing everything. So they kept at it, and it's just kept it alive, And it's now there's kind of like a younger crowd coming back with it, So that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, it is. It definitely
Well,
is.
it did phase out a little bit, by the way.
It did. I mean, it took
did
a hit.
phase.
I mean, the band. There were some bands that lingered, but the scene itself did kind of fade out, But there's certain bands that never quit. They kept going.
You know what? The 80s, the 70s, and 80s rockers and metalheads have redefined grandparents. I love it. I think it's great. It's awesome. And there's so many memes out there that say, the grandparents. You've seen the old men with their canes, screaming, one screaming Slayer, one screaming Megadeth, and it's like, fuck yeah, and they're all tatted up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You figure that those people are in like my age group, a little bit older, and now their kids are all older and moved out. They can get back on the road and go tour. So, you're getting all those bands that for a while were out because, they were getting day jobs, doing whatever. Now they're back out, doing their thing. So now you have like me and my kids going to the same show, or my, hopefully soon my grandkid, it's like, so who knows, it'd be cool. Now you see at least 2-3 generations that shows,
Yeah.
So pretty awesome.
I've honestly seen a baby at a show once or twice in my time.
Well, my own babies have been at many of them. So,
yeah, I played a show at Top Fuel years ago, and there was a baby in the crowd.
Oh yeah, and I love seeing that. I see them all the time, at the venues, and stuff like that, where the parents will show up with their, their babies and their toddlers. They got their headphones on, and then I see a little 4-year-old sitting on dad's shoulders, jamming out to the metal, and it's like, see, that's parenting done right.
Look, I've seen newborns.
Yeah,
well, it's freaking great.
If you're a fan, you're a fan. You do it.
Gotta teach them young.
Yeah. I was at a crib. I was hanging out in the playpen at my dad's band practice when I was born. Like there I was chilling. So my whole life has been around it. So,
hey, Sean, your dad was a drummer too, right?
Yeah. I mean, so he was like 16 when I was born. So he was young, but he was jamming, drums and playing parties and doing all that stuff. So when I grew up, that's all I knew. So that was the cool thing,
Yeah, that was one of my questions I was going to ask. Is being a musician in your family? Is it in your bloodline?
For me, yeah. I mean, my dad's side, all his brothers all played in bands together, and so that was always kind of the thing. Our house, we had a living room that was set up to jam, so we used to have get-togethers like once a month, and all my dad's friends would come and do open jam night, and 9-10 years old, I was jamming on drums, guitar, bass, whatever I could get my hand on. And, that's what I got used to doing. And now I got my boys, I'm surprised I don't hear it above my head right now, but they're usually cranking out some stuff up there now. So it's kind of spreading a little bit.
Yeah. My aunt's piano player, singer, and I have an uncle who's a guitar player, great musicians. That's probably the extent of it that I know of anyway, but probably, since like 16, 17, I've been playing nonstop, and that's, what I love, what I do. And that's hopefully something we can make into a real career here.
Yeah. For future babies to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good man.
Hopefully not future my babies, other people's babies. Well,
I'm talking about Ryan's future babies.
I'm done.
The future spawn of Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's young. He could start a family. I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah. I feel that today is actually my youngest daughter's 17th birthday.
Wow!
Happy birthday!
And there's a few people who are just like, dude, she looks like me, but she's white and blonde. It's like that's the German side in her. My dad calls her an Italian Nazi. I can't even be mad at that because she's half German. But she's not a metalhead. She grew up. Me and my ex-husband, metalheads. Her older sister, metalhead. Her,
it feels like none of these kids are metalheads. They're all listening to DJs and EDM and all the stuff.
Well, my opinion is they have a very short attention span, and that music pretty much caters to that. So,
It's
13, really?
yep.
Hey Edwin, I'm gonna have to agree with Edwin. You got a baby face, Ryan. Aw.
I do.
Aw.
Yeah. I do.
All right. So I'm gonna put your minds to into order and get you guys working, and let Rob go ahead and ask a few questions.
All right.
all right. If you could pick one song to describe you as a person, what song would that be?
Oh,
Sean, go ahead.
I don't even. That's already off the top. That's rough.
It's deep. Yeah.
It gets harder.
Ooh. You know,
I don't know.
it changes. So right now I'm going to say "Cowboy Song" by Thin Lizzy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, I wouldn't have went that way. Most would probably say like the Satan Spawn, like Deicide, but I don't know, man. I don't know what I would say. I can't do it. Not off the top of my head. I couldn't think of that.
One song right off the top is pretty hard to think of. That
Yeah, like that's a rough one. I might have to think, and I might hit you back with it. I don't know.
We'll just
All right.
randomly shout it out in like a half hour.
I'll do some Tourette stuff later.
Hey, okay, Tourette is accepted. We don't knock
Yeah.
it. It's just, you might see me just bust out laughing.
No, I mean if I get it, I'll just shout it out.
Yeah.
Ed says for Sean, Double went down to Georgia.
I
There you
take
go.
that. That's a good one.
Blacklist, Exodus. That's
Yeah.
Sean.
I've made many of those lists, so yeah, I
That's
could go with that.
Sean. What about you guys? I want to flip the script here for a second. What about you guys? One song that describes you.
Mine will always actually be the same. I stand strong by this. It's actually Linkin Park's "In the End."
Oh, good song.
It has always resonated with me strongly for the last 15 years and to this day.
Good track.
Oh,
I'm
great
very
album.
multi-genre. As much as I love my death metal, my thrash,
Dude, that
I'm all
whole
over the
album
place.
was a banger. Like, how
Yeah.
many bands put out an album that has a hit on every fucking, like, every song, dude? Like, I don't understand.
virtually, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, Hybrid Theory was one of the first albums I ever bought. So, like ever, it was a phenomenal record.
Yeah. But yeah, In the End resonates very strong with me, literally to today and tomorrow on many levels.
Right on.
So I'm gonna probably have to say "Torn to Pieces" by Pop Evil.
Torn to Pieces.
Okay.
It's been a long time since I heard Pop Evil.
Okay.
Yeah, I know he's going on tour this year. I know that. I know he's coming around.
Yeah, they just released another song. They should be on. I don't know if they're hitting our way, but they're on tour.
They're coming out. They're coming to Midwest.
I feel like Pop Evil is always at the Forge, always around here when they tour.
They are. Yeah, well, the Forge is a very common spot, for the Midwest, Chicago extended area,
Right.
I'm kind of
the main areas.
I'm kind of pissed that I've seen some of the tour dates for a lot of bands. They're not hitting Jersey this year, so I'm like a little bummed out on that one.
Is there
Not
a
that,
reason?
not that I can't travel, but I'm just saying it's
Is there
just
some kind of reason that's going on there? Or?
I don't know. Like some years they don't come out this way.
It's weird.
Are they like in surrounding states?
I haven't really looked. Like you'll see a New York date, you'll see a Pennsylvania date, but then it's just fire skips Jersey. So like I get it. I'm just saying like sometimes it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, I know that Gojira Mastodon tour that's going on this year, they're missing Chicago, but they're going to be in Indiana right over the border. And I can't help but imagine it's because Chicago tax or the fee to actually put on a show like that.
Here in Chicago,
I would love to bring them. If I could bring them to the WC, I would, but it's too small of a venue for something like that.
They're not fitting in the WC.
They're way too big for WC. I can't help with that one.
Yeah, it looked like Chicago is nailed with like on top of the taxes and all the crap that goes on financially to play here, big shows. It's all the stagehand union and stuff like that. They tend to want to skip this because, like, if you play after a certain time on like a certain night or day, it goes up on cost. And bands seem to miss. That's why we always get shows like Tuesday through Thursday. And they miss the weekends as much as possible. The rates go up. So what are you going to do? So they'll go to Wisconsin, they'll go to Indiana, and we're skipped all the time. So
I'm randomly going to a concert on a Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, and that's exactly probably why. That's probably another reason out in Jersey. It's probably the same concept. Illinois, they owes you, man. They're expensive. We are expensive here. Expensive.
Your big cities all go through this kind of stuff. So I mean, it is what it is. You just have to figure it out. And there's actually bigger venues opening up outside of cities now, or like big like convention halls or pavilion type places that are now like spreading out a little bit. So now you don't have to just hit downtown all the time.
Right.
So there's more of that.
So speaking of that, would you rather play an amphitheater or a small venue bar / club?
I've played too many small bars, and I would rather play out than do a bigger show.
Oh, absolutely, all day long.
I could go do a small one tomorrow, but I've done enough of those. Like, it'd be cool to do some like where I look out and I can't even see where the toilets are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Even with a crowd, I probably wouldn't be able to see where the toilets are either. So now, speaking of that, I mean, you guys have had an awesome 2022. You guys have been popping around on some big stages throughout the year.
Yeah, we've been strategically like hitting openers. These nationals come through, get on it, and I'm digging that.
Yeah, we've been extremely lucky where preparation met the right moment, the right time, and we got the Cavalera Conspiracy show at the Forge, which was phenomenal, sold out, killer crowd. I mean, that really did something for us. And then thankfully we're endorsed by Dirtbag Clothing, so those guys put on that competition for the Michigan Metal Fest stage slot.
I was going to ask about that. Now I'm endorsed by them too. Absolutely love those guys. I'm like one of the few booking agents that are endorsed by them. So honored to be on that. On that small list.
And if they're listening, holler at me, please. I haven't heard anything back yet.
John, give them a call.
Get on it.
Yeah, maybe I could slip a little thing in for you.
Okay.
Yeah. They're killer dudes, man. They're great to work with.
Yeah, they are. No, they're really, really cool guys. They're very, very strong on the scene, and mad respect to them on so many levels. Yeah. But I wanted to ask you about the Michigan Metal Fest, and that's killer that you guys made it. I know a lot of bands didn't make it because that nasty ass storm came rolling through, so some did not get to hit that stage.
Yeah,
we almost didn't get to. So yeah, I mean, we got shut down like 2 songs in.
So you hit it though, but you did get it out there.
Yeah,
so you closed out the Metal Fest.
That stage we did
pretty much. Yeah.
So now, what was involved with that contest? I know it was a song contest, and it was 100 bands, right?
105 total. Yeah,
105 bands. So what exactly was the contest for?
Basically, the way it was described to me was. Michigan Metal Fest reached out to them to do maybe an endorsement spot. Hey, you guys want to come out and help promote this and that? And they were like, well, sure. Let's, can we do something with maybe a competition? We get our endorsed artists to submit a song, and the guys with the most votes, the best promotion, the best plan to move forward, they get to come and play, a set. Mm-hmm. And fortunately, we released our debut album in 21. We put our what some of us think our top song on there. I think it's our top song on Spotify on that album. We put it in there, and we just stayed in communication with everybody. And it was like we just hit Canva super hard, making posters, making pictures, and kind of just customizing everything and submitting it out there for people to see. And it was a really cool experience because that's not something you do without a reason. So because of this competition, it really forced me and the other guys to get in there and make promotional material and learn how to push these things and use Instagram and all of these tools at our disposal. So it was a really good thing for us.
Yeah, what song did you submit though?
We submitted "Call of the Void" for that competition. Yeah,
it's a badass song. I played that like 3 times in a row when I was checking you guys out. Absolutely.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So now you're okay. You got to help me out with this one. How do you pronounce the debut album? How do you pronounce that?
Colossus.
It is Colossus. Okay, I'm like, I was trying to say it. I'm like, I don't know.
No, that's cool. Yeah, it's better to just ask. There's no.
Yeah. No, I'd rather ask than I'd rather look like a fool asking and admitting I couldn't pronounce it for the life of me instead of trying to say it like 10 times. You guys had what? You guys had 9 songs on that album, and that is definitely a killer album. You guys came hard with that to blow it up, and to get yourself out there. What was the hardest song for you guys to play?
Anything I sang on, which is everything. I don't know, Sean. Go ahead. What do you think?
No, I mean I wouldn't say anything's hardest. I know like Sleight of Hand and Lenity are both of the more aggressive songs on the whole thing. So, doing those, those are definitely out of the whole bunch as the most aggressive and probably the most intense. So, I mean,
yeah, just to expound on that. Sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Finish. Yeah, I mean, so thankfully we are kind of a self-financed, self-promoting, self-working band because of Pressure Wave Studios, which Sean is also the owner-operator of. So thankfully we weren't under the gun.
Shameless plugs.
Yeah, shameless plugs. So he does killer work if anybody's looking for recording, mixing, all that stuff.
And what was that name again?
Pressure Wave Studios.
You're welcome, Sean.
Yeah, killer. So thankfully we weren't really like under the gun, So it's like hanging out at the drummer's house, putting in guitar tracks and stuff, and then doing vocals. And Sean took care of the drums. I mean, maybe you want to talk about that process. I'm not too familiar with how you actually did every little thing.
Yeah, for me, I mean, playing, I can't control my stuff, so I have to tear it down a lot of my gear and set it up next to my kit and kind of
Pro Tools.
Yeah, I mean, I got to operate all my mic pre's, everything like next to me, and yeah, I mean, I pretty much knocked them out in like a day or so, day and a half, and then I had to set it all back up down here, and get started on everything else that had to come. So, for me being the drummer and then doing the rest, it's a little bit harder, but it's not that bad.
Right.
It came out great, and think about that. We had 9 songs in that album, and you knocked them out in a day. I mean, that
insane.
Says a lot. That says a lot. Yeah.
My arms would be dead limp. It'd be like just jelly. If someone, I wouldn't even want to wave to somebody. I'd be like, just don't touch me.
Yeah, I think I did everything like 2 or 3 times each, all songs. So you figured 9 songs, I played it that many times. So, wow. And then I usually don't play it more than that because then you start cutting corners and making things too easy. So I just felt they were the best takes, and then from that's what I got. So I'm kind of old school, man. I know I'm using today's technology, but I try to think about tape and like what it used to cost, get it done right, in the beginning, and not have to sit there all day redoing it. So
right.
Well, what kind of sticks do you use? I'm
currently endorsed with Scorpion Sticks, who's connected to Dirtbag. Yeah.
And what's the weight?
Killer.
I'm using the 5BXs, which are like just the 5B but extra long. They're 17-inch long, so it's like the longer stick. I think pretty much the longest stick you can get is like a 17. So, but yeah, they're made like that, and then they dip them in the Venom grip, like this green grip that holds on. So when you start sweating, it don't slide out. But yeah, I really love them. They're really good.
Yeah, shameless plug. Shout out to Smitty and Scorpion Percussion.
And Dan over there at Scorpion, man, he hammers out great sticks, man. They're really good. I shred sticks. I used to shred them like crazy, man. And since I've been with them, it's hard to break them. They're really good.
That's good.
So, yeah.
So when you throw them out into the crowd, you can actually crack somebody upside the head.
They would hurt, yeah. I mean, I try to give out a few pair at night, you know. I always find little kids, man. If I see little kids air drumming, they get them.
Aim for their heads.
You aim at the little kids?
No. I give it to them after.
That's what I was thinking too.
No, I spot them when I'm on stage, and then I get off stage and I go find them and I go here,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know if their parents are happy, but I think it's cool. Send them home with something to pound on. So
I'm sure their parents aren't going to mind. I mean, if the parents are the ones bringing them there to the show, so that for them, they can go back and say, "Hey, the drummer came off the stage and actually handed the stick to my kid."
Until the kid breaks them with their shit, then once the kid starts pounding on their stuff, then we'll see what happens. But no, I mean, I tend to look for those people that I can see that are really into it, especially the air drummers. It's like you got to give them something. So
right. So now you have your own studio.
April?
Yeah, we got Gravesite Chicago popping in, saying what's up. Everyone,
what
people from the Rebel Radio family, as you know, I'm partners and associates with them directly, and we get together every week at Brower House on Mondays for a Rebel Bingo, where everyone can win mass tickets to all kinds of shit, including shows for you guys. We've given out tickets to shows that you guys have been playing too.
Yeah. Nice.
Yes,
I try to get out there. I haven't been out there in a little while, but I try to hit there every now and then.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I mean, you guys, it's a Monday. Come from Joliet. Everyone's got to work the next day. I get it.
We practice on Monday nights too now. That's why we really haven't been coming lately. So.
Right. All right. So I know to look for you then. Start hunting you down. Where are you at, babyface?
Down to the sticks.
Right. So what I was going to ask those. Now you have your own studio. Now, have you had that for a long time, or is that something you decided to
I've been,
to put together recently?
I've been doing this I don't know now. It's probably been about 8 years or so.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where, I don't want to do a day job anymore. I did enough of it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm going to be Mr. Mom, and I'll hang out with the kids, and I'll work from home. And that's where it started, and then that's what I've been doing,
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, I've taken over the house. I mean, it's pretty much, I don't know how, the wife hasn't said anything in, almost 17 years. She hasn't complained once, but unless she's saving it up for down the road. But, yeah, I mean, I've pretty much taken over the house. So
you're Mr. Mom.
Yeah, I mean,
remember that movie? Remember that movie from the 80s?
I love that movie. It
was great.
Mr. Metal Mom.
Yeah, I think it's more fun being here, man. I did enough factory work and craft work for a long time, and I'm like, I'm done with it,
Right.
So now I'm able to just come here, do this, and it's just fun. I enjoy it.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. Rob, go ahead. I'll let you go.
All right, this is kind of a fun question here. 2-day festival. You can. One day is all female fronted. Second day could be dead or alive.
Holy.
For each of you.
Bands or individual members or just any?
I'll give you 5 each, and you can.
It doesn't matter if they're a single artist or a band.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they're solo or not.
Oh.
Well, I totally enjoy seeing Kitty. I've seen Kitty enough live, and I think they bring it every time. So that would be one of mine. I'd love to see Lita Ford. Haven't seen her live.
Oh yeah,
but from what I've seen, she's still killing it.
Yeah.
Man, Arch Enemy.
Of course.
I'm a fan of Angela though. Those like my days. I liked when she came in.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Holy crap!
It's too much.
I'll jump in. I think Lita Ford for sure is a good pick. Yeah. Arch Enemy, I got to throw him in there. But I would say like Heart, Love Heart, Nightwish, Hailstorm. Those are the 5 I would probably go with, at least right now.
Here's one that would probably throw you off, but it would just be great, and it's Pat Benatar.
Oh, I love that.
Because
actually, that's not the first time we've heard that Pat Bennett.
Okay.
There's a lot. It could be anywhere. It doesn't have to be like strictly hardcore metal. I mean, there's a lot.
No,
of
it could be anything.
That
She
started
still
so much for the
sounds great.
ladies.
Yeah, I mean, she's always been one of those voices, man.
Oh, Paramore. I gotta say Paramore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if we're not going like just metal or rock, you know.
Anybody.
Yeah.
That works.
That's about all I can think of right now.
And then Dead or Alive, like just dream everything.
Yeah, dead or alive, meaning they don't have to be living anymore.
Well, it definitely would have been cool to see Hendrix.
I was just gonna say Stevie Ray Vaughan for
Stevie
sure
Ray,
is number one.
I was actually, believe it or not, supposed to see that last show. And then I got into some crap with my dad, you know, as a kid. And he, you know, you're not going. Then I find out the next day Stevie's gone.
Yeah.
And it just blew my mind. It was like, are you shitting me? Like, yeah, that was devastating to me. I've always been a huge fan of Stevie Ray. So that one is a definite topper.
Yeah, I've got a whole ton of bands. I'd say SRV, Randy Rhoads with Ozzy, Zeppelin, of course, Metallica with Cliff Burton, Eddie Van Halen. I never saw Van Halen. Would have loved to have seen them.
I would like to see them as Van Halen with Roth and then with Sammy. You know, those two eras were still great to me. I like them both. They're two different. So,
I totally agree with you. Absolutely.
I never got to see either one, so
yeah,
I would take that. Yeah, you pretty much on the same track as far as the Gone ones. Honestly, it would have been cool to see Meatloaf back in the day.
Oh yeah,
that whole Bet Out of Hell stuff would have been cool to see, but
yeah.
I'm older, but so like a lot of stuff. I keep saying older. I mean, I'm 47, but there's just things that, you know, the people that I grew up on or heard from my dad are gone. So, like, I never got to see any of them. So,
yeah, a lot
Ginger
of them
Baker
young too.
Ginger Baker. Yeah, I mean, talk about the best of the best.
Yeah,
yeah. That's about all I could really think of right now.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta throw this off. Hey Rob, how's your pop?
Oh, it's lovely. You mean my?
I saw Mountain Dew and pop just popped in my head.
Soda.
Hey, random
you mean my soda?
Fans watching, is it pop or soda?
Yeah, let's do like
we were having this conversation before we went live. Pop. Soda is a completely different drink.
Pop.
I'm gonna say soda all day. Like
it's pop. There is an actual soda. That's what pop.
Just end it and say soda pop and be done with it.
I'm just saying. Like, we're gonna have people responding, pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, because they're by you.
Yeah, they're all from here. Yeah,
they're all from by you.
Throw the zinger in there and use the word cola.
Yeah,
cola.
Yeah,
cola.
Yeah, no, you can't say Coke anymore because now everyone goes what?
Yeah,
it's like, what are we talking about again? It's like wrong drink. That's not a drink.
Yeah.
So, all right. So yeah, pop. Went out from
soda.
That. So,
and I just realized I look like fucking Teen Wolf on this motherfucker.
Hey, better than Babyface.
Yeah, there you go. You're funny. All right. So I mean, you guys had some killer shows though last year. You guys were doing really good for coming out with your first album, and I know you guys have been working on album number 2, correct?
Yeah.
We do have like ideas shooting around. It really quick though. You have to remember when our album came out, COVID hit.
Right.
Yeah.
So we were at this point where we just finished the album and we're like, okay, we got to put it out.
Right.
So then it was like everything's kind of like down. Nobody's doing shows. So that was really hard, you know. And then all of a sudden, you know, we started nailing shows, but they were more like bigger shows, you know. So it was just this weird jump from like we went from a lull to like, oh yeah, sure, we'll open for them. We'll open.
Right.
We've done.
You guys released that 21, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, just from what I've seen, over the last year or so, It's been bigger shows for you guys. Like you said, you guys literally just jumped in. We're like, oh shit, okay, we're going in. We're doing this now. Fuck yeah, get in there.
Yeah, we did what? Skin Lab. We did 3 Tremors. We did Exciter. We done the Cavalier Brothers. It's like I'm like Warbringer. Like it's like cool. Like it was just a weird transition from like 2 year of nothing. And usually you feel like you're gonna have to start over. It's like it feels that way, and then all of a sudden you're nailing these bigger shows, which is cool. So
you guys are doing something right for you guys to grab the attention for the bigger bands to be like, come here.
So now it's more like grabbing the attention of people like you who are connected that help us and help put us in those kind of positions.
Absolutely.
So that's really where it is.
Right. Well, I heard about you guys, of course, from my partners and associates, Gravesite Chicago and Rebel Radio. That's where I started learning about you guys and doing research. And I've seen you guys play a couple times. I don't know if you guys know that. I have put up here, saw you guys a couple times last year, and I was just like, we got to get you guys on here, Yeah,
I really appreciate that. I remember seeing you out. Absolutely.
Hell yeah. So again, thank you for making the time out for us, But so the idea of a second album coming.
Yeah, I mean that back to that is I mean we've already started jamming like some stuff, and we do have a bunch of riff ideas and stuff. We've just not sat down and like really hashed out a whole bunch of them, but we have a couple that we've been messing around with, So hopefully,
do you think it's going to be 9 tracks again?
I don't know, man.
It'll be around there, I think.
9. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a specific number or we're just gonna say this is enough.
There's no specific number.
I would kind of like to, when we did the first album, that's pretty much what we had.
Right.
This time around, I'd like to have more and just pick through it because, out of a whole bunch of songs, you might have this many that just destroy and make the better album, and just, the other stuff might not be up to, not saying up to par, but,
you're right.
You have to make enough songs to have like a really solid album. So I'd like to not go in with just enough. I would like to have, a good 15-20% extra, and they could end up being singles. They could end up being like hidden tracks. They could be whatever. They don't have to disappear, but yeah, I would like to like hear them recorded and then go, what are the best songs,
Right.
And then go from there. So
I mean, the first album's a little diverse, and there are some that are not. There's some duds on there. I mean, call it what it is. There's some that just don't hit as hard, and that's we showed up. I found Sean.
That's every album. Though. That's every album. There's always going to be some softer songs for every band. It doesn't. That's just how it goes. Naturally.
I found Sean in Pressure Wave Studio on Facebook because Vaughn and I, we had these songs, written. We were writing more songs. Hey, how are we going to record these? You know what I mean? I found him on there. We went and visited. We started recording some of these things, and Sean was like, I can throw some stuff on this if you want. And we were like, yeah, please. And then you hear what he threw down, and it just totally makes everything. So this time, like Sean, like you said, go in there. We have a lot of material that we're working on right now. We have songs pretty much completed, but like he said, these are things we want to kind of sift through and make sure that it meets the standard,
Right. You guys also just released a new single back in November.
Yeah.
False Flag. How's that been going?
Pretty good so far. Yeah. I mean, people really dig it.
Oh yeah.
I think the thing with that song is it's more of a direction of where we're going. The first album is pretty diverse, like you were saying earlier. There's a lot of stuff on it, different takes of metal.
Right.
This next one's going to be probably a lot more speed, heavy, aggressive, just a more direct take, and that's a pretty good precursor to what our mindset is, I think.
Yeah, I think if you were to say like from the first album, what would lead into this one, I would say Sleight of Hand and Lenity is kind of the direction. And then False Flag kind of connects that
right
direction. So yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a little bit more thrashy and aggressive, and so I'm all for diverse and slow song moments, but I don't know. Hopefully this album's just a banger all the way through, But we'll see.
It will be.
I mean, I'm down for a nice little acoustic intros and stuff, but that's me. That's the producer side of me is like, oh, those are fun to do. But as far as playing stuff, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Don't know.
So, in your personal opinion, what do you think would be more marketable, releasing singles or releasing an album?
Well, today, I don't know if it's marketable. I think it's just more feasible.
Business savvy.
And expense-wise, it's easier for bands to do a single, pop some stuff out, keep people's attention on them. Mm-hmm. And then, because today, man, you got to be on the road a lot. A lot of these bands are like literally on the road a lot. I mean, and they don't have time to do full albums. So if they're out there touring around and doing their thing, it's not like before where you can get some time off to go in the studio and do that. These guys, every show counts for them. So one song is easy to do.
Right.
They could bang that out in a day and then have it mixed down or do whatever they got to do and put it out there. And I just think that's and the attention span of most listeners now they don't listen to albums.
Yeah,
they just click. They just click. They go right through songs, man. That's all they do all day long. So,
CDs are actually starting to make a comeback. Have you guys noticed that?
They are.
They are. They're starting to make a comeback, and Apple and computer programs are now starting to put like blocks and shit. They're starting to intervene because they see CD sales are picking up, and they're trying to say, nope, now you got to pay. Now you got to pay. Well, it's the early 2000s all over again. Lars would be going crazy all over again.
We don't want that to happen.
Well, two things happen. People were losing their accounts. They get all these downloads. I tell my kids this all the time with Fortnite. You can buy all the skins and crap you want. You don't own anything. It's air.
I know.
So when you download this stuff or you have it on your computer or something crashes and you can't get that stuff back, what do you do?
And I have to rebuy it.
I'm still a buyer. I buy CDs because I take it, I download it to my hard drives right away, and then I put it up. And then if something happens to my drives, I can put it right back in there. Yeah. So and people like to collect, man. They like, having people sign it or having a physical now. That's becoming the thing. It's like vinyl. Now we're going back to physical. So we knew it was going to get cool for a while with digital. Now we're going back to people collecting.
But you know what? It also helps to support the bands too. Downloading, you can get everything for free online, but you're not really, it's not financially helping the bands to grow and be able to do what they need to do to produce.
They'll be making pennies off of it.
Well, the only time you make money as a band from your music is when you sell your physical CD at a show.
Yeah, your merch.
Anytime that CD gets sold somewhere else, not by you, you're getting a pennies or a fraction of a penny.
Yep.
So the easiest way for a band to profit from their music is to buy directly from them their music. So
absolutely.
Which you can do at backlashlive.com.
There you go.
Shameless plug.
But
this show is all about you. Plug away.
Yeah, I mean it really is. I sit and watch my boys all the time and I start to laugh because they're like gnats, man. They're floating around all the time and their attention's just every little thing that moves and shiny objects, they're gone. They can't focus. So
I'm actually my roommate, also one of my savages, Olga, known as Mamacita. She's also one of our repping models for shirts like galore. She has a shit ton. She blows mine away. We want to get tattoos of matching squirrels because our ADHD is through the roof.
Yeah, I've always liked
the one from Ice Age, or no?
Yes, but there was no squirrels in it, was there?
Yes, there was.
Oh wait, in Ice Age, there was. You're right.
Yeah,
there was.
Hers is gonna have little short curly hair. Mine's gonna have the long layers, straight hair,
like a prehistoric, prehistoric squirrel.
To me, I think bands, man, when a band did an album back in the day, or at least I say back in the day, it seems like forever ago, but before the whole single thing again,
Yeah.
I think bands like put the time into making an album reflect what they were doing at that time, and the order of the songs kind of played out that way.
It mattered.
There was always a strategic. What's the first song? What's it going to lead into? It took some kind of form, and now it's like, even if you listen to an album now, a lot of it just sounds like a bunch of singles on an album. There's not like continuity to it. There's nothing leading you into the next piece. And that was always the fun part of albums, when you really listen to it. Try to picture those albums in different orders and you'd be like,
And the artwork and the artwork, the lyrics that were inside, the dedications, even I know it's probably weird, but even the smell of opening up a brand new CD.
Dude, CD and vinyl. Like you open it up and you're like, yeah. It's
an iconic smell. Like
Am I the only one that's never smelled a CD here? Because I'm replaying that in my head. I'm like, what does CD smell like? I never went.
It's
fresh plastic.
It's not the CD itself. When you open the cellophane, you open it up.
Yeah, maybe I became into it because back in the early 2000s, my family owned a CD making business, and I helped out a lot for a side job. And they had the machines that put the CDs together, and did everything. I had to do the inserts, and oh my god, the paper cuts. But
I can imagine
that machine, man. I guess maybe I just got used to the smell. I just don't smell it anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, there's something about opening it up, pressing the center, and popping it out.
Yeah.
It's sticking it in a player, and just like while it starts, you're just looking through the book. Like, that's awesome. That's how it was with cassette. It felt the same way. You open it up, put it in, you're looking, you're reading along. Like, I think people are back to that now.
Yeah, it was a little before my time, so I never got that experience with the cassettes. But I will say this about the single argument. When I noticed about singles, or what event that happened that made me think about how powerful that is as a tool for an artist, was Ghost released Meliora, which was like this huge killer album. And I know a lot of metalheads, people don't like Ghost, but that album, the sound is so good. It's pristine. It's killer. Good songs. But in between, I think it was Meliora and Prequel, which I'm not a fan of that album. But in between, they did a single called Square Hammer. Yep. And what song blew Ghost? I mean, straight to the top.
That took them to a whole different height. Yeah.
It was that single that destroyed everybody.
Yeah.
So they have a place for sure.
Yeah.
And back in the day, they actually did put singles on tapes and and CDs. You could buy a single for less of the price.
Yeah, it was like $3 or $5 just for one or two songs on that.
It was like one or two songs. Yeah, it was like one or two songs.
Yeah.
For like $2, $3, or whatever it was at that time. So like that could be something to look into to bring back.
Dude, I still have some Metallica singles from England. It still is sealed in plastic with the fucking price tag on it, still put up. Like never opened, still sitting there.
Keep that shit sealed, man. You're sitting on a nice little load there.
Yeah. So there's just, I don't know. We're in a time where collecting anything is big. It's not even music, but people are, again, getting back to just having things, and collecting. And that's part of it. That's why vinyl's coming back, because it's just one of those, it's a collector thing, and it's funny because you got more people wanting to buy them now for the outrageous price of vinyl. Back in the day when you could get it cheap, they didn't want it. So I don't know.
I don't get that either because.
And then they don't want to spend $10 on a CD, but they'll spend $30, $40 on a vinyl.
Play it. Who the hell's got a freaking turntable?
I do.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? There are a lot of turntables that have been distributed and being manufactured actually for about the last 10, 15 years that have a combination. You can actually buy them. I bought one for my second ex-husband. And it's, it's like a little wannabe turntable thing, and it has a CD player in it. You can actually interchange it, and record off the album onto the CD, so you have it on your CD too. And those will go only for like $200-$300. Man, dude, that's badass.
I remember.
Mine has Bluetooth.
Go ahead.
I said mine has Bluetooth.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
yeah. I remember growing up, man, and stealing my dad's albums and playing them on my like Fisher Price turntables and shit and fucking them up. Like he hated it. But
what was the first album you guys listened to?
Me,
on
dude,
vinyl,
man.
On vinyl. What was your first vinyl?
Ooh.
Growing up was, Kiss Alive and like Alive 1 and 2 and all that stuff. Like with opening up those was like as a kid, I was like, when you see that stage on fire, man, there's nothing like that. Like it was like the coolest image I ever seen in my life. There's not even bands that put images out that cool still to this day. Like when you open it up and see that whole stage lit up and fire and like that to me, man, as a kid was like, are you kidding me, man? Like that was the coolest, So I remember that,
Yeah.
I grew up, Kiss was the thing, like that was my thing as a kid.
Kiss rules.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm probably gonna get some shit for this, but I never got into Kiss.
Yeah, I mean,
that's cool, man. That's cool.
I haven't either.
I mean, it's one of those things like there's fans when there isn't. But when you grow up as a kid, you just see how big and badass it was, and nobody was doing that, and the imagery of it, you're like, what the hell is this?
Well, plus, I mean, they did have riffs. There were some good riffs. Like Dr. Love is a killer riff. Strutter, killer riff.
Any musician that says they wouldn't want a career like them is a liar.
Right?
To play such hammy, easy shit, and to blow up that big, man, and be who they were and still who they are, like, who wouldn't want that?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a musician, you're going to tell me you wouldn't want that, but it is what it is, But, like, I graduated up from turntable, like playing that kind of stuff on my toy turntables to, do you remember Teddy Ruxpin?
Yep.
Yes.
I used to put like Slayer and shit in that tape cassette player and play that.
That's awesome. That's great.
You could see Teddy's mouth just kind of like freaking out,
Well, see what Slayer did to him? Day.
Yeah. So like I would put like old Venom albums, like cassettes in there and stuff like that. And it was funny. But you could, we got away from all that fun stuff with the physicals. You can't do that anymore.
Right.
You know what it was like when your friend got in the car and they're like, dude, you got to check this out right now. And they pull this thing out, right? They stick it in the fucking player. And you're just like that moment. You're like, whoa, now it's just like, hey, dude, I'm going to send you a file. You're like, what? That's like lame, like you miss out on the whole cool experience.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
First vinyl.
You got me tripping on Teddy Ruxpin and Slayer. Pop. I heard that. I so heard that. What about you, Ryan? I mean, were you? I mean, what was your first vinyl? It was probably more like 2000s for you, right?
Yeah. First vinyl. First time I heard vinyl, I believe I was at my friend the Warner's house, and his dad, my buddy Craig, his dad was like mega music, 70s, 80s rock, killer guy, great dude, and he had a cool collection. And we'd walk down to the basement and see these LPs like hanging on the wall, and he had like Heart, and all these like classic Pink Floyd. I think there was a Zeppelin. There was some really cool ones on there, and I remember him playing us vinyl. So that was the first time I like heard vinyl. The first one that I played on my turntable, Megadeth, Rust in Peace. Nice. I was like, I got to hear this on vinyl,
Oh yeah. The first vinyl I ever heard was the 1986 Super Bowl Shuffle.
Nice. And it was
my older brothers.
We talking like the 35s or whatever?
No, not that bad. No, it was a legit like full size vinyl.
Oh yeah, I had the little guy, just the single.
Yeah, no, it was a full size vinyl. The first one I heard was the Super Bowl Shuffle.
Honestly, here's what's funny. When vinyl was like for me, this is gonna sound funny, but I used to sit in my room and listen to like George Carlin, Richard Pryor, like Bill Cosby himself, all those good stand-ups. Yeah. I used to listen to when I went to bed. I'd put it on my headphones and I'd fall asleep to like comedy albums and stuff, Mm-hmm. And I just remember all that. There was just, I don't know, it was just cool, I guess. My dad would
Oh,
bitch
yeah.
about the music. Don't touch my. So I would start stealing his stand-up comedy stuff. So I'm like, he'll never notice, you know.
You know. So okay, we still in love with this, so it's okay though. So I was gonna ask you guys, any possibility for a future EP?
We haven't talked about it.
Yeah. EP, like 2 or 3 songs we just rip out.
Whatever you want. I mean, there's people that typically have two or 3 songs. Some people do 5, 6 songs, 7, 8. I mean, a few is usually the typical, But
I guess it would just depend on where we're at. I mean, if we were like getting some stuff done and we were like, we need to get something out, maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
There's like I think the simple guide to releasing music, people say once every quarter, put a single out or something like that. We just released False Flag in November. I mean, it's almost the end of January. I don't know if we're gonna buckle down and do a whole album or maybe knock a couple songs out. I mean, it's possible, but we haven't really sat and talked about it. Right now, we've got a show next Friday at Metal Monkey Brewery, and that's Friday the 27th, and that's kind of our last scheduled gig right now. Obviously, we're talking to some people about some other things, business things, etc. But right now, we're talking amongst ourselves, kind of trying to figure out exactly what direction we want to go to.
Right. I feel that. Rob, wanna go ahead and knock out some more brain teasers?
Yeah. These are fun. This is cool.
It gets better.
All right, how screwed would you be if somebody looked at your Google history right now?
Oh, I'd be fucked.
I'd probably be divorced and in prison. I don't know.
And if she's watching, you didn't hear a thing. Don't look.
She's not home yet. She's almost home from work, but no, if they look and they're just going to be, I don't even know if they'd be shocked.
Right? Yeah.
I don't think they'd be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, mine's like a whole history of Rick Beato YouTube videos, and just that's mainly my time on the computer is YouTube, whether I'm looking up guitars or theory stuff or how to use StreamYard, all those kind of things.
Yeah.
I think it'd be all right. There'd be a lot of recipes on mine. I cook here, so I'm always like, I want to try something new, man, and I'm always looking up recipes. Like, I don't know, and then I keep printing them out. I got a shit ton of printed out recipes. I don't know what to do with. I might as well just start booking them. But yeah, that's probably what you'd see, which is hilarious. But yeah, that's what you get, recipes.
Yeah.
Let me know when I'm invited for dinner. I'm in.
Hey, anybody's invited.
No sushi, no seafood.
Nah, I like seafood, but I'm not a big sushi fan. I like my seafood cooked.
Yeah, right.
All right, if you could bring back 3 items, it could be food, it could be console, or even music. What would you bring back from the 90s?
The 90s?
Wish it was the 80s.
Does it have to be like an item, a physical thing, or could it be just anything in general?
Anything.
How about MTV?
I would say music.
Bring back the videos.
Nice.
Yeah.
From the 90s? I'm an 80s kid, man. Like, this is tough.
So am
I was born in 91, so I remember like the last
You got a little
half.
90s you can work with.
I forgot you were a baby.
See?
Yeah.
So here we are in a band together. You were born 91.
Yeah.
I graduated high school in 94. So that's how off we are in this band.
So while he was shitting his diapers, you were getting your diploma.
And he was probably shitting his pants too.
And getting fucked up.
Graveside, Headbangers Ball, hell yeah.
Yeah, I was partying, but man, from the 90s
that I could bring right now. I would bring. I would
Friends.
Friends?
I'll take Friends. I'm a Friends fan.
Really? Okay. I was 98210.
Bring it back.
The first, I guess I would pick. The first thing would be an original PV 5150 amp, block letter, guitar amplifier. You can
You know,
buy them now, but if I go back in time and just pick anything, that's the first thing I'm
One of
probably
the
grabbing.
originals? One of
Yeah.
the originals,
Oh,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, black letter EVH.
Man, I don't know. I partied so much in the 90s, I don't remember much.
Original Pantera.
You mean the hair Pantera?
No, that's 80s Pantera, not 90s Pantera.
That's the original Pantera.
Yeah, it's technically the same, yeah.
Well,
Just
I mean
aging.
Dimebag, obviously. Diamond Vinny and everybody. I would say let's bring back OG Pantera. That's my second thing. And I don't know this, but I've heard so many stories about it. The Chicago death metal scene and all the people into the music was just so much more apparently back in the day. So I would.
And with that said, bring back the Thirsty Whale.
Ooh, yeah.
Wow, yeah. I never got to go to the Thirsty Whale. I mean, I know it was notorious for letting underagers in. But I knew about it, but they closed down when I was a junior before I dropped out. But they closed down, and a lot of my friends were like, of all people, you didn't go. And I was like, I was just starting to get into the bar scene when I was 16. While everyone went to junior prom, I was at the local bar with my future first ex-husband and partying with my twin teacher doing shots in the bar. So while they're out there dancing away for their junior prom, I'm slamming shots with the gym teacher.
Yeah, I married the gym teacher.
No, I didn't marry the gym teacher.
Oh, okay. You say you're doing shots.
You heard it here first.
I'm gonna call him out, Mr. Manuel. I wonder if people from the DuPage area remember him. Yeah. In fact, that I remember him.
If there was something I could bring back from the 90s, I guess it would be my youth. But I was in better shape then, and
at least what you can remember, right?
Yeah, it got cloudy after high school. Like high school was a little bit, but then once I hit my 20s, it was fucking over.
It became a blur at that point.
It was a blur till I hit 30. Like it was.
So is there any pop that you would bring back?
Pop?
He said pop.
Well, I mean, RC's still here. That's been my fave since I was a kid, so I could care less about the rest of them.
Yeah, I'm good with Mountain Dew.
No Crystal Pepsi for you?
No. That Crystal Pepsi's like Zima.
Can we bring that back? That'd be cool.
That I could see.
It has come back a couple of times. It's just not taking off.
But it won't die. That's the point.
Yeah, that too.
If it keeps coming back, that means it just won't die.
Yeah, no. So you guys got anything else? I mean, you got a show on January 27th at which was it, Monkey Brewery?
Monkey Brewery.
That's Romeoville, isn't it? It's not far.
Yep.
Okay, Romeoville. That's really close to me. Yeah, I've been there once. I think I was there like 2 years ago. Really cool fucking place. You guys have been there a few times. I know that.
Yeah, we played there last March, and it was a killer show. We opened. Endgame played after us. The owners are awesome people. Everybody that goes there and works there are great people. They do like vinyl Wednesdays. You bring in a vinyl, have a beer. They play it. People hang out and listen and talk. So shout out to them. Thank you for having us. It's actually their 7-year anniversary party.
Right.
So it's free admission. So you can come just hang out, have a couple beers, check out some cool bands, and get it on.
Okay. Rob, you want to ask any more questions?
Uh-oh.
I'm thinking.
I mean, we're at that hour mark, but sometimes we push it to an hour and 15. We're having fun, and you can keep rolling with it. We'll go. We're games.
I got time. I mean, if you guys want to call it, that's cool, but I got time.
He's always got more fun ones, trust me.
He's like scrolling through stuff right now, I think.
Yeah. Well, what?
All right. Last supper scenario here.
Uh-oh.
Who's your 12? You have to have one female present.
Wait, what was this?
Yeah, can you explain?
Last supper scenario. Who are your 12 apostles, and you have to have one female present.
So we're gonna die after.
Or before.
Or so, I mean.
Last supper, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you were Jesus, you were going to die. The rest of them lived. What they did after that, the Bible didn't talk about it. So.
And what side of the table are you going to sit at?
So this is just like this.
Well, I'm going to be at the head of that table.
So you're Jesus. All right.
Well,
who are your 12 apostles and who's Mary?
So 12, right?
If I can't, I would pick my family if it's my Last Supper. So my whole family would be there. But
yeah, I mean, I would have it. That's exactly what it would be, probably.
Yeah. But if we're picking like for fun's sake,
yeah, for funsies,
without offending wives or girlfriends, have fun with it, or your sons or whatever, have fun with it.
You can even have Scooby-Doo there.
I would say James Hetfield, number 1, of course. Gordon Ramsay, because he'd be making the killer dinner, right?
Or yelling at people.
Yes. Todd McFarlane of Image Comics, because I've always wanted to pick his brain on that kind of stuff. That's 3. Sean, go ahead, and I'll cover right after you.
For fun, I'm going to make it like a roast. So, I would like Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh yeah.
And like Dean Martin and who else, man? I could go down. Richard Pryor.
So you want to be roasted for the Last Supper as Jesus.
Yeah, I want to roast. I want my Last Supper to be like a roast from all the best roasters.
That's awesome.
Tony Hinchcliffe, Joe Rogan,
and a female in there. You could throw like Joan Rivers. She would kill in that. Who would be another one? I mean, you thought I was going to go music, but I'd rather.
It could be anybody.
I'd rather hang out with like all those comedians roasting me, but
Don Jameson, Tony Hinchcliffe, Joe Rogan. That's my next 3. I got 6 more I got to figure out here. Go ahead, Sean.
That's a lot, man.
It's a lot. 12's a lot.
I mean, I could just throw names out, but that wouldn't mean anything. This is just bad airtime.
Well, I'd pick Sean, Tyler, and Vaughn. That's 3. So the band, of course.
Oh, see, now he's gonna get sappy.
So I got 3 more.
You said what? You can have Andrew Dice Clay in the background for the roast.
Oh, Dice would be.
Spitting out all the old school shit. Little Miss Muffet sat on the top.
Eating her cards and way.
Right?
That would be awesome.
Jackie and Jill went up the hill with a bucket.
We still need women. We still need a girl, right? So.
But he said Joan Rivers.
I'd love.
Oh, you did say Joan Rivers.
She was like, she'd rip it up.
Who would be your Mary?
Oh boy. Dream scenario? I don't know. I gotta think about this for a second.
Yeah. Lisa's funny as fuck.
These are good questions because it makes you think about shit you never would have thought of.
Yeah.
Here's 2 for you: Stacy Keibler and Tori Wilson.
Okay.
For the old school WWF fans.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what? Here's one music related, just because she's probably my music crush. But Tatiana from Ginger would have to be like next to me, right here.
That's your Mary.
Yeah.
Yep.
My wife could be here, so like I could be like this,
I would say my Mary. This is my 12th person. Would be Taylor Momsen. Pretty Reckless.
Nice. Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess I had a lame list, but
nah, you're good.
I love yours, man. Roast Jesus for the Last Supper. That's great.
Yeah, he's gonna die. Why not? Torment him a little bit before.
Yeah.
Yeah. If that's what you're gonna do, that's what you gotta do, right? Make it go out with a bang.
Yeah.
Go out with a smile.
You got some more? These are fun.
Yeah.
They probably want to ditch us out.
Yeah,
they're like,
that's cool.
These guys don't have any answers. Kick them out of here.
I do want to thank a couple people if we're going to cut, though. So, like Gravesite, Rob Torres, Megamo, of course, Scott Davidson, all you guys, killer. Thank you so much for all the support, pushing us out there. It really means a lot. Obviously, the band members, I got to thank you guys, especially Sean. Pressure Wave Studios, people, if you want to make some good music, get it out there. Pressure Wave Studios. The proof is in the sound. So check out all our music. Spotify, help us out. Any stream helps. We're trying to reach out. We're trying to get bigger shows. I want to get into like the rave. I want to get Aragon Ballroom. I want these dream scenarios, Bottom Lounge. Let's just start hitting places. And if anybody can help us out with that, feel free to reach out. I really appreciate it because we don't do any of this stuff without people helping us. So we really appreciate you all. Thank you.
Yeah, he summed up.
Gravesite Chicago sends their love too, saying they love you guys.
Oh, and Mom.
Love and your mom. Yes, and I know your sister's on here too somewhere. I did see that earlier today. Earlier in the show, your sister's on here too. So what's up, fam?
Yeah.
So now, if anyone wanted to check out some merch and look into any other forums you guys are on, where can they find your merch? Where can they find more info on you?
Backlashlive.com. That's the easiest. It's our official website. There is like a master link you can go to that has all of our streaming, all of our sites, our EPK, our social media. It's ffm.bio/backlash. YouTube, awesome. Everything. All that stuff's there.
Yeah, it's just that one link will take you everywhere.
Yeah.
Gravesite, absolutely. I got Chicago. I got everyone coast to coast. That's how I roll.
Yeah.
You guys, thank you so much.
Thank you
for having us.
Like to say?
Yeah.
Bring us back.
Yeah, let's do this again. This is fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Fran. Thank you, Rob. This really means a lot. I really appreciate it. This is cool. And
Rob, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, guys, do you have anything you want to say to your fans before we say goodnight?
Well, for fans, thank you.
Yeah.
And for the people who don't realize they're not a fan yet because they haven't heard us, hear us, and then be a fan. And that makes everything better. So
you'll see them soon.
Hey, you know what? Elwood at Q Rock 100.7. It's our local radio station. He's been a friend of mine for 10 years. And whenever I send that guy a message or call or ask for help, he's always there. So I got to say thank you so much to him and all the fans out there. You can call radio stations. You can message their Facebook. You can reach out to all these places, and you can physically get out there and help your favorite bands or musicians or small-time people play bigger shows, reach new venues. You have all the power. We're vessels doing our thing, and if people get behind it, it can go places. But that's really up to you guys. So thank you for everything you've done for us.
Yeah.
Just as a reminder, this is on Facebook on Concert Junkies. This is on YouTube at Concert Junkies, and at Twitch it is Concert Rob. And if you're not following, please do so.
Yeah, and for everyone, the bands, the fans, we do. Me and Rob, we do things like this for the scene, for the bands. We love you guys and everything you do, so we want to give back. And all we ask is that you help us grow. The more we grow, the more the bands grow. Okay. So if you can subscribe, like, share, and subscribe both of our own personal YouTube pages. As everyone knows, Savage Ladies, we do our podcast on Sunday, and I'm here with Rob on Wednesdays, but he does it. This man is beast mode with these podcasts. He does them 4 or 5 days a week, sometimes 2, 3, 4 in one day. So, the more support we have, the more we grow, the more we can do for you on every level.
And the more giveaways we can do.
Yes.
I'm planning on doing another giveaway when I hit 1,000. Yes. We're at 883.
Yeah, he's almost ready to get monotonized, and I'm waiting for my chance to come. So everyone, thank you for supporting Concert Junkies as well as the Savage Ladies and the scene. Backlash. Support the bands. Yeah. They need it just as much as everyone else does.
Yeah. Support Fran. Fran needs it. Chicagoland, get on Fran's side here. We need a helper. There you go. And Rob, of course, Rob. Of course, Rob.
All right, yes. I'm gonna enjoy my pop, and you guys have a great night.
All right, you too.
Hey, man, love and respect, guys.
Not sponsored.
Thank you.